Take a look at this beautiful watercolor bird mobile. I bet these are some of the same birds that you see right around your house. Here's what you'll need. We started out with watercolor pencils. We have cardstock. I'm using just a manila folder. We have a branch of a tree, some silk leaves, 2 boxes of the same height, and this can be any scrap boxes, and then our basics. We're using a low-tack masking tape. We have a thick tacky glue, some heavy thread, a pencil, a paintbrush, and our scissors. So let's get started. The first thing is that you need to do your patterns, and all the patterns are available on the website, and we've chosen some of the more common birds like cardinals and finches and blue jays. Each of the patterns you're going to have the body and 2 wing pieces for each, and all of them are here. So the first thing you want to do is cut those out. And I've cut them out of my white paper, and I'm going to trace them onto my cardstock. Now you could use cardstock, or as I said, I used a manila folder. So let's grab our pencil, and we'll lay our bird shape down and trace around, which I've done already, and then we'll cut that out. Nice tip for when you're cutting is to move your paper rather than your scissors, and you'll get a nice smooth cut. So you'd continue and do 1 for each bird and a pair of wings for each bird that you want to make. So let's set that aside because I really want to get started coloring. Now this is my bird shape, and I'm going to start with the cardinal, and cardinals are red. So the first thing I'm going to do is choose my brushes, and instead of a brush I'm using a pencil, and these are shaped in a triangular shape so it makes it easy to hold, and you have a lot of control using a pencil rather than using like a watercolor, a pad and brush. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start by coloring in different areas. So I'm going to start with the red at the top. Now you don't have to worry about your lines because those are, when you add water, they're going to all smooth out. So I'm going to start at the top here, and I'm going to bring this in front here so you can see one that I've already got painted. And I'm going to create this section that runs around the crest. Now an important thing would be is to look up online or in a book and see the colors. We also will have patterns on the website that show the exact colors on each one of these birds. Now the other thing I'm going to do is let's take a little bit of the gold color and create his beak. The fun thing about using pencils is that you can layer color on top of color. So I've just added this gold, and I'm going to add a little bit of orange and add a little shading into that. So that's his beak section. Let me take my black, and again I'm adding this section in here. You see how nice and smooth these go on, and they look just like pencils. Now let's build the red. And I'm just using a back and forth motion, and I'm going to get rid of all those pencil lines. So now if you carried this across, we'd carry across the entire bird. You can see he's got a darker red along the stomach. You might add some pink shades or other colors. And because it has such a sharp point, it makes it really easy to fill in these nice small areas. Now the next step is I'm going to take my paintbrush, and of course we'd color this all in. And by taking my brush and wetting it, and I find it's much easier to add my colors first and then blend. Look how intense those colors get. And you can see I have it right on a paper towel so I can take off any excess color. But look how beautifully they blend. And we color in that, of course, the whole picture in before we add the water. Now if you see on this one right here, I'm going to go back and add a little bit of the water. Let me see so you can see that. And that'll blend in, and all of the brush strokes disappear, and you get that beautiful effect. Now once you've done one side of the bird, you turn him over and paint the other side of the bird in the exact same way. Now I've got some completed here, and this time I've taken the blue jay. And you can see on the blue jay here, his one side and then the other side, and I've also colored the 2 wing parts. Now I'm going to take a little snip here. This is where my wings are going to go in, and then I've cut a length of thread. It's about 36 inches long, and I'm just folding it in half. I'm going to hold it, and about 5 inches up, I'm going to put a knot in it. Then I'm going to take these two ends, make sure they're nice and even to each other. The next step is to add our glue. Now on our pattern there was a section marked just where you add the glue, which is going to go right here. And I'm using a nice thick glue. Then I'm going to take either end and lay that in the glue, one on either side, and then lay my other piece of wing down on top of it. Now when this dries, you can trim these two edges off. Then we're going to fold that in half, and then that would slot right into the bird. And if you can see on this one, maybe you can see it a little bit easier. The two pieces are here, the thread is through it, and that's what's holding it, and that's going to hang over the branch. Now we want to get our branch ready. So I'm going to take our branch here and our leaves, and we'll just add some glue in the corners, on the edge. You can always add more extra as you go along. And then I'm going to take my finished birds, which are still on the folded thread, and just loop them over the branch. And then I'll even them out and space them the way that I'd like, and then tie them and knot them. An easy way to space those along the branch is to take those boxes that we used in the beginning and put one at either end of the branch and just lay that on top. Now if we go to the finished one, you can see that I've hung the birds at all different heights, and that way you can see the detail on each one of the birds. And that's our watercolor